Okay, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to session number 9. Today we're gonna finish the unit 3. What does a conversation class look like? Um, with this session, as I told you before, we're gonna finish the unit 3, and the objectives that we have for this session are to identify the important skills that we can include in ESP course and the ways that ESP can be taught. Okay. For starting this virtual meeting, I have a question for you, and I would like to listen to all of you. What does ESP stand for? Well, let me tell you that ESP is a language approach whose goal is to provide learners with narrowly defined goals, the language elements they need to function as professionals. Okay. In another words, as you can appreciate here on the screen, it says that ESP is a subset of English as a second or foreign language. It usually refers to teaching the English language to university students or people already in employment with reference to the particular vocabulary and skills they need. That is the definition of ESP. Now, ESP are the initials, right? But this means English for a specific purpose. As I told you before, that English for a specific purpose, ESP, is a language approach where our main goal is to provide learners the elements that they need to function as professionals. We have an activity. The first activity here, you can give ideas, okay? But how we can improve ESP? How do you think, or how would you teach an ESP course? Well, one of the most important ways that we can use to teach ESP is the subject matter, okay? When you use subject matter is when we, as we said, stick to the point. For example, if you're teaching math, so the best, the more convenient is to make a little combination of the general English to a specific English. Why general English? Because, for example, remember that you're teaching math and English. You need to communicate, you need to interact with the students in English using the natural approach. It's not convenient to use mixed languages. The 50% you speak Spanish and the other 50% you speak English. No, it's not convenient to do that. It's more convenient to use the natural approach, okay, or the direct method, that which consists in using the language, that in this case is English, okay? You can use body language if a student don't understand what you want to mean. You can use realia. For example, if you're teaching geometry in math, you can use realia. You can use triangles, any figures of geometric, right? So you can use that. When you show the object physically, that is realia, okay? That's the subject matter. The ESP, it is focused on a particular field, okay, as I told you before, that provide to learners the specific language elements that they need to master that field to be a really good professionals, okay? This field, when you're working or when you are focused on a particular field, this allows learners to master the skills relevant to their professional needs. Okay. So that's why, and it's so important that when you want to start teaching an English course, you need to know first the students' need, because remember that you need to make a program, okay, a curriculum. In this one, you need to cover the most important elements that the students need. For example, if we compare, and we were discussing this in the first three or two sessions, that if we compare universities, each university, every university has different ESP, has different English, let's say English for a specific purpose. For example, if you compare UNAM, Managua, and UCA, the ESP in these two universities are totally different. For example, at UNAM, the ESP, or English for a specific purpose, is just for teaching, okay? Just for teaching. They prepared students to be a professional English teacher. But if you go to study English at UCA, UCA, the ESP there, it's different because they are most for communication, oral communication, and interpretation. Okay. At a certain point, they prepare just I would say that the 30 or 20% for teaching, but the 80 or 70% it's for interpreting, okay, for translating. Let's see another things that we have here. Here we have a case. This is the case number 3, teaching and speaking in the United Arab Emirates. Let's see what we have here. We have here, this case is teaching and speaking for adults in colleges. I teach college math to non-native speakers in the United Arab Emirates. In actuality, my job is a combination of math and EFL, as, as I will explain. Teaching a subject, for example, academic content besides English, to UAE students is challenging, but my years of teaching math and my training in ESL enable me to do a good job with my learners. But you got some experience and you can handle the situation, the hard situation in the classroom, it's gonna be much easier for you to teach. In this case, he's talking about math. But when you don't have experience, but you have read a lot about the approaches and how you can share the knowledge that you have, how you can transfer the knowledge that you have at the beginning is gonna be hard, okay? So that's why that I told at the beginning, okay, if you're gonna teach math, use the direct method, the natural approach, using body language, realia, TPR. You can combine those approaches, but you need to combined the general English. In this case, the general English is just for interacting with the students, and the specific English. The specific English is gonna be the terms in math, okay? Do you have some questions so far? Okay, we're gonna continue here. Sorry, I don't stand my throat. Let's see, issues for reflection. Let's see, some of the issues that we have here. It's, for example, Nancy's course of is an example of ESP or English for specific purposes. The student's main reason for English in this class is to discuss math. Thus, a great ideal of the language she needs to teach, including both vocabulary and grammatical structures, is about math. Okay, in a ESP, let's see, in a ESP course, a student often need a a combination of general English and a specific English. That was the explanation that I was giving to you before. For example, if you are teaching a speaking course to nurses, then you will need to introduce a specialized vocabulary related to nurses, in addition to the general types of English. Another issues that we have here for reflection is, as with many programs, NANCE students focus heavily on the final test. Rather than ignore these, Nancy found activities that would practice speaking and at the same time help prepare the students for the final exam. Thus, the students were more motivated to attempt these activities. Another issue that we have, rather than stick to the traditional classroom set of activities, Nancy designed special projects for her students that required everyone to put their English skill into practice. There is here in the third one is something important that probably this teacher has many experience of this, that if you want to make a meaningful class, you need or students need to put in practice the skills that they have. And one of the characteristics that you need to know about the types of student that you have is the level of English that they have. In this way, you can create some activities according to their levels and develop and a student to develop the skills, the English skills, okay? To then put it into practice. And the last one, we have the Nancy's transition from ESL in the United States to EFL in the UAE has been made smoother by her desire and attempts to learn as much about her students' country and culture as possible. Two different cultures here we have. This is an important for several reasons. Knowing about the students' culture allows you to understand them better and, as a result, teach them better. Knowing about their culture is a sign of respect for your students. Knowing about their culture makes them respect you more as a teacher and as a person. Something important to create values there, right? You need to respect the student and the student need to respect you. But how? You need to look for strategies, how to a student to respect you. The student will have a better relationship with you as their teachers, and this is a win-win scenario. Remember that many years ago, Many years ago, English teachers thought that when they were in front of the audience, in front of the classroom, they said, I'm the authority here. You can do anything if I don't permit you. But nowadays, in these new generations, teaching doesn't work in that way. So you need to students to feel more comfortable at your class to have a meaningful class. Here, continuing, here we have a video that explains what is ESP. We're not gonna watch it now because of the time, okay? But I recommend you to watch this when you got time to understand better this one. And I have a question for you. Which skills do you think are important in ESP, English for a specific purpose? Which skills do you think that we need to include in an ESP course? Well, in this question, by my own experience, and I'm pretty sure that's the right way that we can do it to combine the four English skills: listening, speaking, writing, and reading, the four skills. The burning question is, which strategies or techniques can I use to develop the four English language skills at the same time? Let me tell you one. For example, imagine that in some previous classes, you were teaching vocabulary, okay? Vocabulary about professions. Good. Then, uh, next class, you prepare some slip of paper with some segments of a song related to professions that they have to complete, okay? And you can put the slip of paper around the classrooms or even give to the same students. You play the audio, you play the song, they are listening the song. Then by listening, they are going to identify what is the missing words that they need to complete. Okay, they are listening, then they practice the the reading and the writing as well. And then you can ask them, what are those missing words that they found through the music? This is a very simple example where about techniques where we can combine the four English language skills, okay? And then I have a question for you. If you can answer it now, pretty fine, you can do it. But if not, please prepare your answer for the next virtual meeting that this gonna be the first thing that we're gonna discuss, okay? And the question is, what does a student need? Okay, the question is, what does a student need when is in an ESP course? What do you think? What does a student need when is in an ESP course? What are those elements that you consider that a student need when he or she is in an ESP course. Okay, as I told you before, if you don't have the right answer now, okay, good. Um, we're gonna discuss in the next session your answer, okay? Because remember that the class is speaking, so we need to interact, okay? You need to interact each other, okay? See you next session. Prepare the answer for that question. Don't forget it, okay? Bye-bye.